Alright, hello, greetings and welcome in everyone. Hello Brett, thank you for the lurk. Hello. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel of Fort Mystehaven, perpetrator of creative chaos, general maker of things, and on days 2 of being a little bit under the weather, but otherwise surviving. Yay! I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are all keeping healthy to the best of your ability. Whew. Okay, so today has been a busy day. And most of it I can't talk about. What I can tell you, what I can say, is that somewhere within the next week, 2 weeks-ish, you'll have your first Harrier VP! That's right, I've got a voice pack coming, and it is going to be releasing somewhere in the vicinity of mid-February. I've been cooking on this one for a while, actually, so I really hope that you guys are gonna like it. I dropped the first hint in my Discord today, and I was debating whether I was going to drop more hints or not, and I've decided that I'm gonna let you guys know that it's coming. It will be made available on my 4th wall, but I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a teaser closer to the time, so yes, it's gonna be fun. Zany, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Yay! Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I have been wanting to get into voice packs for quite a while, but I didn't really have the capacity for it, and I decided, you know what? We're going to just dive right in. We're not going to wait for the timing to be good, we're just going to dive in and do the thing. So we're diving in and we're doing the thing. And yes. Doing good, just messing around with the lab. By lab, I hope you mean the dog. Because messing around in the lab could be dangerous. But if it's with the lab and then it's a dog, then we're all good. Oh, the emote lab. Ah, fun. Yeah, it's really a cool tool for a customizable model type thing for emotes. It's really a good tool, Emote Lab. I'm still shook that Teo got it for me yesterday. After stream, when I actually opened up what was going on there, I was completely blown away. Was not expecting that yesterday at all. Super grateful. Like, what? But yeah, it's really cute. I love how expressive things are in there. It looks like they're going to have more models later down the line in future updates as well, which could be interesting, because it looks like it's set up to be able to take it. But I can understand with all of those animations and parameters, setting each model up must take quite a bit of time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that platform grows and how it changes. But at the same time, I don't feel threatened by it, because like any customizable emote thing, there's always going to be the room for the custom stuff, right? The customization options on any customizable model are never going to capture every potential possibility. So I don't feel like anyone who's doing your character here emotes needs to be feeling particularly threatened by that, I think. Because I can imagine that is something that flitted through a whole bunch of people's minds. But I can see that it will be a useful tool. They've mentioned on Twitter that they're going to add static options soon as well. Ah, nice. So you'll be able to kind of pick a frame and go, check, Take a picture. Yay. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Good to know. Yes. So yeah. Speaking of taking pictures, we are going to be meeting one of my colleagues in Mystehaven today. Are you guys looking forward to that? Personally, I just like working with artists more, mostly because I continuously do little, hey, can we go off model for this bit and add an extra 25% cost? Yeah, I get you. I get you. Yeah. Going off model is one of the things that artists can really lean into quite a bit as well, because we can kind of just decide, for the benefit of this thing, let's go wild. And certain pre-made tools are just not set up for that, so but all is well, all is well. But yeah, so voice pack is coming. Keep your eyes peeled. I am still figuring out how much it's gonna cost, but there's probably gonna be it's probably gonna be really, really cheap. Because it's a short little thing, but I'm working really hard on it. I wish I could commission people more often, but I don't have the money for it while life gets away. Yeah, that happens with everyone. The economy has been really tough. And January. January is real. Oh, January is so real. Is this the right time to plug my commissions? Is this the right time to plug my commissions? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. So, aside from Zany's commission that is due for completion now the end of this month, I've actually got nothing left in the queue for February. So, yeah, if you guys know anyone who has got the capacity, I would really appreciate it. To throw some ideas or some referrals around. But I think, with all of that said, I should probably we should probably go into why I would be a good bet for that anyway, right? So, I'm actually going to be doing some updates to my reference sheet commissions soon, because I know that that is something that I need to update in this round. But we are actually working on reference sheets today, and this is Cherith. So this is our last that we will be working with today. I've done some groundwork with her. We're working on her civilian outfit first, but yeah, my tax return this year was less than 300. Ish. You have my sympathies. Relativity is an interesting thing because I don't know what that actually translates to in my iteration of reality. If that's good or bad. But I would take it that that is not ideal. So you have my sympathies. From a place of zero understanding how things work in your iteration of reality. Let's leave it at that, because the tax system is a black hole of all logic. Especially when we're talking across multiple countries, in which case the tax system is gonna be different in each one, and nothing is gonna make sense to anyone anywhere else. So let's steer clear of the exact hows and whys and what's not on that topic, but yeah. Eldritch Bread says, ew, I like the design vibe already. Yay, I'm glad you do. Yes, Cherith is a very free-spirited individual. She is... I think I could say she is like an ultimate extrovert. In the sense that She's always making friends. She's always being bubbly. She's got the social attention span of a soap dish. In the best way possible. And very, very upfront. Very tall. Yes, she is tall. She is very, very tall. She is the tallest person in the team. She is pretty close to 9 feet, which means she actually struggles to fit in most regular roof spaces. Like it's a tight fit. So she is a tall lass. That bracket of fantasy height? Yes, she is a literal giantess. Cherith is a literal giantess. Like, I don't know if you guys look closely at the reference sheet, but not the reference sheet, the thumbnail over on YouTube side. Let me just open that up over here. This is the YouTube thumbnail. But literally, species class, giant subtype. She's literally always gonna be the tallest person where you would always be the tallest person where you in any room she walks into, just about. But where she comes from, she was actually pretty petite. Where she comes from, she was really petite, actually. But yeah, so we are going to be polishing this up. She comes from an area that's pretty cold, and the plot for Mystehaven things happens in summertime, hence the really light clothing as well. She's the tallest, but she's also small. Yes. She was the petite dainty one where she comes from. It's actually kind of cute. So fun. That is a scary thought. Well, people in Port Mystehaven come from literally all kinds of places, so the people where she comes from had to adapt to things being of a certain scale around them, generally. I can't give away more in terms of that without giving some major lore spoilers just yet, so woohoo. Joshua, hello. I thought I was gone, but alas, I was just waiting for the perfect opportunity to throw all of the flowers. Large influx of flowers. Thank you. Welcome in. It's good to see you, Joshua. Thank you for the flowers. Braid says, I like it, and I also a bit of a fun world build. And also a fun bit of world build. Yes. Fun bits of world building are always cool. Hope you've been doing well. Thank you, Joshua. Yes, we've been doing pretty well. I woke up sick yesterday, and I'm still sick today. Hence, all swaddled up in a blanket and all of that madness. And I'm going to be muting on occasion to, you know, clear the airways and cough and splutter a little bit every now and again. But aside from that, we're doing good. Yeah. We're sick, but still vibing, right? Yes. But yeah, so Cherith is one of those folk who... she's just a fun-loving lass. So she's got dancing shoes because she's totally the type of person who would spontaneously start dancing as soon as she hears anything that's got something remotely resembling a beat. Regardless of what the timing is, she has better rhythm than most people, I think. 11 out of 10 would be a drummer. If she could keep her attention span long enough to kind of sit through the lessons. I think she'd probably be an instinctive drummer if she did sit behind a drum set. Which would probably be either really good or it would drive session musicians completely insane. One of the two. But yeah, on a technical note, we are setting this reference sheet up to be 3D friendly. So in terms of how we are drawing the hair and the fabric items and also all of that, we are doing everything so that theoretically she could be modeled in 3D almost pretty much as we see on the reference sheet, which would be kind of really cool as well. Gross, you got hit with a 6. Sounds like you're at least recovering quick. I'm actually pretty much exactly in the same state as yesterday. It's one of those unfortunate cases of 14 days with medicine and 2 weeks without, I suppose. So we'll see how this actually pans out in terms of recovery. It has been going around through the household and actually through the town, so we'll see how much we manage to stay, or how much we manage to recover, and how much it's going to be a matter of, okay, the entire town is getting the entire town sick again, and it becomes a revolving process. It all depends on, you know, how things end up working out. Village vibes, you know? Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, we are basically still just in the roughing out phase of the outfit. I've been working more or less a little bit out of a sketchbook that I had gotten the rough idea of our outfit down. But I'm still kind of tweaking things as I go. I'm still going to need to refine the paladin armor as well, because the current iteration of the paladin armor that exists is not going to work. I don't think that it's 3D friendly, and I want everything that I'm doing to be 3D friendly. Also comic friendly. It's that balance. I want it to be a balance between comic friendly and 3D friendly, because I want to draw these people a lot, and later I'd like to actually be able to get 3D character models of everyone as well, because that will be immensely helpful for me and plans for things going forward. So I might later down the line explore trying to do the character modeling myself. Maybe. It's a big maybe. Big if. But at the moment, I'm just making the references so that whatever happens in terms of who makes models, the references are at least usable and appropriate for that. So yeah, that is where we are at. Off topic, do you have a recommended size for the emotes from the lab? They are presets. So if you go to the little page with the gear in Emote Lab, you'll see that on the top left side of the screen there's a little sidebar with a little gear icon. You'll see, if you click that, it'll take you to a page that's got a whole bunch of settings, and kind of in the middle of the interface there's gonna be options for your scaling and whatnot, and right at the top of that there is a drop down menu that's got presets. So if you want to have a general use type thing like that you can use for posting to social media and having a moving graphic to accompany that, you can go for the biggest size there at the 30 FPS. But if you want to, for example, have Twitch emotes, then there is a Twitch preset, and if you want Discord emotes, there is a Discord preset. So you can export each one accordingly. Just make sure that when you are exporting, and this I learned the hard way yesterday, that you wait for the little blue progress bar to finish and disappear before switching to the next emote, because otherwise it'll take frames from the next emote and slot them onto the one that you were just exporting. So just be mindful of that. You have to wait for the blue bar to be done blue barring before you can move on to the next one. Okay, so where was I? I was over here. Want to add the pouch on that side. There we go. I did see a post about that. I think it's it'll make for some interesting combos. It can, but you just gotta be really sharp on your frames, because the loading progress can be really fast sometimes, in which case trying to switch to another one at just the right moment can be really messy. So it's easier to actually do an intermediate thing where you kind of try and trim frames off the end of one file and then choose frames from another file and then manually in a third-party thing stitch them together and hope that it works, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time trying to exactly time when you switch emotes for a specific combo. Theoretically possible, but interesting challenge to get right in practicality. Where am I? I am in the front. Oh, this is the hair up. That's not gonna fly. I'm in the hair up. That's not gonna work. Alright, so here, what we want . Yeah, that's good. Like that. And our symmetry on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now this is the updo. Okay. I'm just gonna hide this for a moment, just so that I've got a clearer view of what I'm doing here. Once again, at this point, I'm busy thinking for, if I was going to 3D model this, what would I need? Why? Because I'm going to be 3D modeling this probably at some point, so therefore, what do I need in order to get this to work? How to make look like wavy hair with as few waves as possible. Why? Because I'm not a fan of drawing wavy hair. But I know it's something that other people generally really like. There we go. Now we're just putting in big blocks for now. Yeah, it's gonna swoosh upwards, so we're not really gonna see that from the front. There's definitely gonna need to be scope for some extra flyaways. In terms of the shape build, yeah. But we're doing the simplified version. First. So that we can develop the shorthand for how we would theoretically draw this. Joxai, hello, welcome in. Hope you're doing well, thank you. I am currently actually a little bit sick, but I'm surviving. Good to see you. How are you? Once again, I can't remember if I'm pronouncing your name correctly or if I'm absolutely butchering it. I apologize if the latter is true. I remember us having this conversation, but I can't remember what the outcome of it was. Oh dear. Oh no, I do hope you feel better soon and get as much rest as possible. Yes. I'm doing good. That is fantastic. And you pronounced my name correctly. No worries there. Okay. Oh, whew. That is good news. Yay. I was worried for a moment. But everyone, it is now officially time for our first hydrate. So it is time to acquire your first safe for consumption beverages. And let's take a sip. Yep, hydrate time. Whoo-wee! Yes, and before we forget, it is also then for time to reset our timer. There we go. Why? Because I forgot to start the timer when I started stream. Anyway, I'll be chilling along with the stream. Have a good drawing session. Thank you, Joxai. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoy your chill vibes as well. Yes, we are working on some Fort Mystehaven things. We're working on one of my teammates, Cherith over here, who is a very free-spirited soul and also a paladin on my team. Yeah. She is part of a paladin division of the Mist Guard. We're doing Civi mode at the moment. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this for now and fill it, block in colors, and then we can get back to the hair because the hair is big. The hair is big. So we are working on front, symmetry ruler on, inks, grab black here. Yeah, yes, yes. Inks brush. Start on the front side. Okay. There we go. And I want to reduce that down to there. That will do it better. I want to reduce our base down to about there. Cool. There we go. I wanted this color to have a bit of mass to it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give it an interior trim. Down the side because that's an easier arc to draw. There we go. That will work. Now she's gonna need a little bit more detailing than what she currently has over here. because the sleeves are looking a little bit sparse on detail. And change brush to the one that's got fine ends. There we go. Not going to use that. Alright, like that will do. Okay. So let me just hide the side and the base as well. Hide the base in its entirety. Hide the sketch. Come over here. I just want to grab outside. Invert. Let's grab this one for now. Cool. Just so that we've got a visual on what we've got blocked out and what we have not. Okay. How does that interact? That looks good. Okay. And we keep going. I'm just going to put this over here. Here we've got this interesting little belt buckle thing going on. Something like that. Yeah. I think the second layer is going to be nice. Yes. A little bit of a slight sci-fi touch, which is nice. A sort of a double-sided clip-in mechanism with their double-edged release catches. Okay. Although this is maybe a little bit too far down in there. Yes. Okay. go. Yes, 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 that will do the trick. Let's get that curvature better over there so that it reads as wrapping. How many was that? 6. Okay, that works out. That works out an awful lot better than I anticipated. Okay, nice. Let me just do this. I want to put this. No, undo that. Okay, fine. I'm gonna need to just sharpen that up a bit again. It's fine. Okay, there we go. Now, let's do what we can see at the shorts, because symmetry is a thing. Now this side. Sense of depth on the line work there for future reference. So there we go. Oi. Now, I'm going to hold off on doing the asymmetry until I'm done with the shoes. So, here she's got these kind of peep-toe dance shoes. Which I'm probably going to need to have a little bit more of a sole than what I had on the sketch. Not quite platforms, but a little bit of weight on that sole. Once again, we'll get into detailing. After we've got the structure in place. Alright, almost there. Something like that, and then it's going to want to have a buckle on this side as well. And here we're going to need the bit holding the back of the shoe and the bit leading into the heel. Okay. Just like that. There we go. So if all goes well, and we hide that, it shouldn't be too messy. Teo, hello! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, everyone! And hello, hello, hello! Goodness, that's a big surprise. Thank you, Teo! How are you doing? Thank you! How is stream? Welcome in, raiders! Welcome, crew pups. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel of Fort Mystehaven, perpetrator of creative chaos, general maker of things, and presently doing reference sheet work. We did some Cobblemon. Ooh, fun. Fun, fun. It's a pleasure to have you joining us. I hope you guys had fun. I am extremely tired, so I ended early. You know what? That's totally fair. Totally fair and valid. I would like to just apologize in advance to all of the raiders. I am presently sick, so I'm just going to mute for a moment to clear the airways, and I will be back in literally a couple of seconds. Yeah. And you know, if I seldom pass an opportunity to glaze you so red. Thank you, Teo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just going to quickly clear the airwaves. One moment, please. Thank you for your patience. There we go. Now, I appreciate the raid, Taya. I hope that you get some rest in. Yes, we are currently doing some reference sheet work on someone for my original content project. So this is one of my teammates in Fort Mystehaven. Her name is Cherith. She is an ice-type giantess at just under 9 feet tall. She is actually pretty short where she comes from, but she is definitely the tallest person on my team. Oh, and the 5-way stream went well, by the way. Oh, that's fantastic news. That is fantastic. Yeah, multi-streaming is great once you get the hang of it, honestly. Like, I'm currently streaming to 3 platforms at the same time. Hopefully one of these days Blue Sky will come on board as well. If so, that would be epic. I really hope that Blue Sky lets you stream on there as well. Because that would be really, really cool. Considering that is my primary social platform. Kick is interesting. Mostly bots. Yeah. Kick, I never really... when it started doing the rounds in the mainstream streaming space, it never really clicked with me. Sort of like TikTok never really clicked with me. Interesting. How that works out. But I can totally understand trying to stream to as many places at the same time as possible. This needs to be a little bit smoother. And then I want to get this brush, add a little bit of edge detail over here. No, I don't like that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to add some texture this way. Just casually designing shoes on the fly. In your personal opinion, is it normal for a fledgling company operating within interstellar empire to have an active navy? For a fledgling company to have an active navy, I would not think that that is reasonable, because where do they get the startup capital for that? Like, a single ship for a startup makes sense. A whole fleet, not so much. As someone who has extensive experience in small business, startup capital is the nightmare. It's very difficult to get going when your startup capital is like 0. And if you have got the startup capital, well, who are your investors and how much do they expect from you? Because those are all things that are going to impact what your beginnings are going to look like as a startup company. I'm providing the Central Terran Union with 80% of their energy, and it's making me tons of money, so I don't know. Oh. Oh. Well, in that case, you might need to reinvest some of that money out, otherwise the taxes are going to get rid of all of it for you. So, yes, in that case, spread those resources out. She says, speaking as small business owner, not as you know, gamer. I'm assuming this is in the context of game. Okay. That looks... Cherith seems like the sort of person who would have fun patterns on her shoes. She's bubbly. She's loud. She's fun-loving. She will have fun patterns on her shoes. Sorry, I'm super invested and I wanted to nerd out a little with you. Ah, it's okay. It's okay. And I think possibly a little bit of bedazzlement in the middle of each of these. That also seems on brand. Should have a little bit of shoe sparkle. A bit of bling on the shoes makes sense for her as well. I'm lifted Discord now. Let me guess, you discovered the emote size limitation. So much gets lost to the small resolution. Doesn't the Emote Labs have a Discord preset? It does, it's just that it's a very low resolution because of Discord's limitations. That's a Discord problem. Oh, same. I got an animated emote, this one, and I got it to the right file size, and it still rejected it. Yeah. I knew about that, but I had to re-upload my killer smile emote, and it won't upload, even though it's small enough. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's awful. Shame, man. That sucks. Okay, and that's a hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverages, and let's take a sip. Chink to Zany's emotes, may they come right eventually. Hey, we have the same problem with the same emote. It is pain. Oh my word. To the painful emote. May it come right soon. Yes, Teo, give Zany the head pats. He needs the head pats. The emotes from the lab uploaded fine. Is it a resolution thing or is it a file size thing in terms of data size? Because if it's a data size thing, then you should be able to compress that on a third-party thing on a browser. Because you'd be amazed at how much file compression you can actually get out of a third-party browser tool to help with that little issue. Reset our hydrate timer. There we go. Okay, so symmetry ruler is off. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to grab this slot and cut it away. File size. Oh, 251 out of 256. Oh no! Yeah, then you're going to definitely want to look for a third-party browser thing. So look for a .gif compressor in a browser window, and you should find something that should help. I've used tools like that before. Usually it's free up to a certain number of files, so if you're only doing one, then you should be fine. Asterisk, free up to a certain number of files per day. That's how they usually work. Okay. Now this thing serves no purpose, it's just pretty, hence why Cherith would go for it. Just to give the sense of having something flowy and feminine feeling. Being as tall as she is, skirts are usually a bit risky for her, hence the shorts, but she still likes the feeling of a skirt. I got it down to 214 on the default compression. Still too big according to Discord. Oh, come on! That's frustrating. And you are sure that you've got enough slots. It's not a slot issue of running out of space there. Because if that's the case, then okay, so that's very, very strange. Try rename the file and try and see if it has something to do with Discord having a secret filter that's looking for that particular file name, considering that you two are struggling with the exact same emote. it might be that there's some or other hidden filter that no one's telling anyone about. That's saying, we don't like this particular file or this particular emote type. Didn't even change the name the site gave, which is not the same as the one I have on the original file. Okay. Okay, then it's not that. Might be it, although I did get it to work by zooming in really close. Huh. Temporarily. Did zooming in temporarily work? I'm not well versed enough in this to give any further ghost busting ideas, I don't think. I've never worked in tech support. My current theory is that the feature is either broken or Discord is haunted. My money is on number 2. Oh my word. Did someone report an emote similar? Now no one can have fun. Not impossible. Not impossible. That's the thing with large community-based platforms is sometimes things get appropriately reported, sometimes things get maliciously reported, and it has knock-on effects. Big problems come in when something is maliciously reported en masse, usually by bots or a weaponized audience. That's when things get scary and troublesome. I can think of someone reporting this kind of emote and now they're all getting flagged upon upload attempt. Although I can think of, yeah, that it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. And it might just have to do with the sentiment that that particular emote is trying to convey as well. And it was such a nice emote too. Yeah, I think it would have probably been... If it was a content reporting issue, then it's probably got to do with how it was used in conversation. Because context of how it was used in a report might have heavily affected anything if it was in fact included in a report. Actually, no. Hold it. I need to grab all of that. No, not that one. Copy. Paste. Okay. Get rid of me detail. There we go. Something like that. All right, that'll do the trick. That was the end. Get rid of the extras. There we go. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Also, remove what we don't need. Like that. Like that. Okay. Hide the sketch. Hide the base. Merge that down. Almost got this. So now what we do is we close up here. Something like that, okay. Hide the sketch, cool. Now we go back to our full layer, grab outside. Invert and fill. There we go. So now that should be the entire silhouette fold. Yes? Yes. Okay. Over to this one. And just make this neat. Like that. Good. Okay, now we grab that and lock opacity. So we can do recolor on that in a little bit. What I do need to do though is over here just grab the boundary on the toes, copy, paste, select that. We have the debris that we don't need to know about. Because we just need perimeter information. Okay, merge that down. Like that. Undo. Clear, clear, clear. Okay. Cool. That works. That works, that works, that works. Right. So we will get back into detailing a little bit later. We need to do the side inks as well. So let's do that. Drop that opacity down a little bit. Okay. It helps if I'm actually on the inks layer. There we go. I guess I'll have to settle with a sticker then. Yeah. Because I'm highly skeptical about what sort of response you'll get if you had to submit a support ticket asking about why this particular emote is not acceptable. better angle on that. There we go, almost got it. That's good. That'll do. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need to have two sides because of the asymmetry. I'm gonna need a port and a starboard side, so I'm going to do the absolute minimum inking I can do on this. Because we're going to need both a port and a starboard side. Good to see the civvies. Why? Because otherwise we've got incomplete information. Which, as a reference, is the most unhelpful thing. Incomplete information. There we go. Clean that up because that ended up ghastly. There we go. Sushian, thank you for the push-ups. Welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah. Get the chair out the way and take up the stance. There we go. Alright. And push-ups, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. I'm okay. That is good news. That is good news. Just trying to get foundations in place. On this chain line. Go. Okay. And this, I actually think I'm gonna have it a little bit further back and have it also have a No, I don't want to have it through. I want to have a window. Like that. Through which the belt bottom thing comes. The belt type thing. Okay, and then there needs to be a belt. Like that. There we go. All right. Want to check. Just quickly look at it, see that. All right. That will work for there. Now we need to have our belt buckle, which is going to consist of 2 layers. There's going to be the inner clip bit, and then the front section that has our release buttons, like that. Okay. And then shorts. Just like so. Almost got it. That'll do. Okay. And then we need to do the shoes. Now, interesting thing that we're going to fight with here is that her feet are not in the correct posture for the dancing shoes. So we need to make a correction accordingly for that. So we're going to come over here, grab our correct thing here, and just put a little bit more heel on this foot posture. It's going to be a relatively low dancing shoe because she's already that tall. She can't really afford to have tall shoes as well. But a little bit of a heel on a dancing shoe is important. Okay. Now it's going to be a peep toe. Yeah, okay. That is a hydrate. So everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverages. And let's take a sip. Right. Coffee is cold. I hope they add some facial hair options to the emote lab in future. I know it's uncommon in the VTubing space, but I'd still like to see it available. Yes, that is something that is desperately lacking on a lot of the models, and I think it's largely because of the high volume of female presenting characters in the space, or otherwise fresh-faced aesthetics. So first iterations always go for majority use case, but there ought to be in future updates something that caters a little bit more to the masculine design needs. Because it is something that a lot of this sort of tool tends to skip over until quite late in the development process, which is really sad actually. And then options are usually also a little bit half-hearted as well, which also doesn't exactly inspire confidence most of the time. Honestly, a bit of a tragedy. Practically all the customizable models are feminine, though I've seen a few masculine ones floating around, but I feel like emotes should be more fluid for more creators to really capitalize on it. Yeah, especially considering that it's marketing itself not only for VTubers, but for facecam streamers as well. And anyone who just wants something custom for a chat application. Going for a more universal set of features will definitely be beneficial. I'd love to make a few mods based off of some of my old D&D characters, but they've all got some amount of facial hair. Oh no! Yeah, that is somewhat of an annoyance. That it is not then readily manageable. What was it? Which one was outside? From inner to outer. So this one needs to go down first. Like that, okay. And like that. Now we grab the ankle strap. We're gonna do it this way, because otherwise the flow of the wrist movement isn't comfy. There we go. Buckle. Ultra dainty buckle. It's gonna be this way around, yeah. You know what? I'm going to make this a bit longer and put a retainer strap over here. And just put a bit of a loop on this side. Like that. There we go. Okay. Now, what I'm looking at here, just want to see, I'm not happy with the placement of this sole because I feel like that is destined for breaking. It was angled way too far forward. That puts the center of the weight a little bit more in the middle. There we go. Okay. Hide the sketch. Hide that. Hide the front. Okay. Go to our fill layer. Grab outside. Invert. Fill. Go. Okay. This is going to need to be side face. Okay. Show that again. Right, because I had the front and the back in the same place for silhouette reasons. Okay. So far so good. But if I look at the clock, we are now at the 2-hour mark, which means that it is the time to call it. I have been hearing birds for a while now. Yeah, I've been hearing birds for a while now. So, we've pretty much just managed inking this day. And a little bit of hair plotting. But we are getting there in progressing with Cherith. So, this is her actual skin color. She is blue. And I see I've got some issues that I need to repair there. Okay. Noted. Some clipping issues that need help. But so far so good. So far so good. Considering I've only been working on this canvas for 3 hours and 38 minutes, 2 of which were on stream. Let me just put this back there. There. To get a sense. Yeah, so when I've got more capacity, I will continue working on reference sheets. Obviously, I've got a lot to do in terms of that. I have 9 people. Well, each Mistgard patrol unit consists of 9 active patrollers and 2 support staff. So it's quite a couple of people per patrol unit. And then I've still got to reference out some other characters as well. But I'm starting with just our main cast. But yeah, so slowly but certainly we're going to be making progress on this. I do need to update the Harrier reference as well, because I've been looking at, for example, my civilian outfit as well, and looking at how can I push and pull this to make it a little bit more 3D friendly as well, because Harrier 3D has to happen sooner or later, preferably sooner. We'll get there eventually. I just realized that those never got refreshed when I started the stream. Whoopsie. There we go. Thought so. I thought something was missing over there. Blah. Anyway. Sorry, my mouth is super dry. Blah. But yeah, we are going to keep on referencing things away. I'm going to keep writing. I've got a lot of writing to do still. But we've been going pretty well so far. And hopefully in the relatively near future I will have the first teasers of proper lore to show you guys. I'm very much looking forward to it. I've just got to make sure that what I do have collates appropriately across all of the characters. Like, I just this morning actually finally got a connective hook that I've been needing for another one of my teammates, the last one who I did not know anything about yet. He finally made sense this morning. So he got his hook and concept finally down tied. So Brock is now also more tangible, and I'm feeling much better about the state of the universe, knowing that Brock is not just an arbitrary blob now. He is not just a placeholder, he is now an actual character with an actual hook. And now it's a matter of expanding on those hooks and putting those POVs into appropriate context for plot progression. And that's something that is an interesting challenge, but a lot of fun. Because I am, like I've said before, Project Mystehaven is something that takes place across multiple perspectives, and not everyone gets all of the information. I was debating whether I was going to show this. Should I? Should I say this? Should I not say this? Should I say this? Should I not say it? Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I've decided I'm going to say it. Give you guys a hint about why this is chaotic. I'm writing this as a visual novel. I'm writing this as a visual novel. Project Mystehaven is being written as a visual novel. And it's big. It's... yeah, it's big. It's not a dating sim, but it is a visual novel. With a choices matter type setup. So... perspective is quite literally everything. The idea is that there is plot, but depending on which character's POV you choose to follow, you're going to be exposed to different information. And that means that while they're all technically experiencing the same events as the same team, how they experience those events and what conversations they're going to have and how they perceive those conversations, there's going to be variation in there, and that makes it complex a little bit. But it also gives a good writerly chance to really explore each character and give them a lot of personality, and hence why I want to spend a lot of solid time on the writing side to make sure that I do it well. Just like real life? Exactly. So no one character is gonna get the full picture. And what each one perceives as important is going to be really important in terms of what aspects of the plot they focus on and what events are bigger events or smaller events for that particular person. So while a certain conversation might be this huge all-encompassing thing for one character, it might just be a passing sentence here or there for another. And the only person that can get the whole picture is the player? Exactly. Like, there is one character that can sort of come close. Sort of. But even then, nowhere near entirely. Because that person can't see everyone else's perspectives. They can infer well, but they can't see everyone's perspectives. So, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to do a visual novel type thing for... close to a decade and a half almost now. But time has not been on my side. So I am really, really enjoying actually now having the plot, the characters, and the opportunity to work on this. It's a really big thing. Project Mystehaven literally came at just the right time for me, personally, creatively. So, hence why I am really pouring a lot this year into pre-production on that. I want to spend a lot of time writing. Referencing out the characters is going to be really useful for me when it comes to drawing the CGs. Yeah, I want to have a couple of those. Like I said, later I'd like to have 3D models for all of the characters so that I can do other stuff as well. But for now, the main idea is to just have all of the potential references so that we can do all of the potential fun things and make a comprehensive world that we can explore. And I really want to share it with you guys so badly. Like, making the visual novel sprites, actually coding the novel. I'd like to actually be able to do some of that maybe on stream as well. Obviously with placeholder text, because I don't want to spoil things. But yeah. Power Core, thank you. That's awesome. I hope the visual novel production goes well. Thank you so much. Yes, we are in the first draft stage of the writing still, so it's very much still in the superficial levels of the writing. And I've still got to do like all of the prose and such. At the moment, I'm just making sure that everyone's order of operations of what they focus on and what happens when ties up along the timeline of the actual plot. Because I've got the synopsis of the plot all written out from start to finish. We've got an ending for the story already, which is great. Like the overarching, we have hit endpoint, and we've got overarching, if failure happens, then blah. Endpoints exist. And that is, you know what, not a bad starting point. But now we're going into the synopsis and point by point going, okay, and writing down for each character. This happens, then this happens, they think this, they focus on this, these are the choices that are available to them. If this, then that. All of those sorts of things. And then collating those to make sure that everyone who has events that intersect has the same information on the superficial level, so that when it comes down to the character-centric writing that happens in the first or the second draft per character, that the foundations are solid for everyone to even, before we even go any further. So it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. So if this sounds fun and interesting to you, and you would like to see this project come to fruition faster, I know you hate being sold at. I'm sorry, but I have to, because it's part of the day job. Sorry, guys. Then please consider looking at sponsoring an hour on my patronage services on my VGen. So you can either sponsor an hour for working on the illustrative side of the project, or on the writing side of the project. And basically it just buys my capacity so that I can still eat and not necessarily need to spend my entire month grinding commissions all day, every day. And still get this out for you guys to be able to play the game. That's like primary goal, is I want to be able to make this thing so that you guys can play it and enjoy it and see all the cool stuff that's happening inside my head. So if you can, I'd appreciate it. The patronage services would be like #1 thing if we can work on. Food and fun, great combo. Exactly. And I'd obviously also like to be able to share a lot of the production process alongside you guys in as spoiler-free a way as possible. So things like making the character sprites, making the reference sheets. I'd like to do as much of that on stream as possible, as part of the development step. The writing I'm obviously going to do offline because spoilers. But that is my goals, is to actually be able to progress this entire thing and work on it in stream with you guys, and slowly but certainly expose for it Mystehaven in a way that is exciting and interesting, and then be able to finally do a reveal and a playthrough of the Harrier POV with you guys at the end of the project on launch day. That is goals. It's like, I want to build this thing, release it, and then be able to do a playthrough with you guys of the Harrier POV. Considering, hey, look who's here! So that's goals. That's goals. Considering that I've never actually played a visual novel on stream, finding a visual novel that is safe content is also interesting stream-wise. I've seen a lot of them going around, but it's like, so many of them are dating sims, and then when you come to dating sim games, it's like, okay, is this even going to be stream safe? But yeah. Project Mystehaven is not going to be a dating sim. Like, I'm putting that on record now. There's going to be character dynamics, so obviously people can ship who they want to ship. They're all fictional characters, right? But at the end of the day, it's not going to be focused on that. It's going to be focused on the actual plot. And that was our last hydrate redeem or hydrate reminder of the day. So everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverage. And let's take a sip. No, the coffee is gone. Ah! The headcanon ships shall sail free. Yes, they shall indeed. Let your headcanon ships fly. Because, let me be very, very honest with you guys. The Harrier that you see in stream... should I say this? Okay, so from Harrier version 2.0, we're currently running on Harrier model version 1. From Harrier model version 2.0, what you are going to see is going to be post-plot Harrier. That is plans. So you're going to see when Harrier 2.0 comes along, it's going to be post-plot. Is it very different from the one that'll be in the VN? Is what going to be very different? Because what I want to say on that topic is that anything that happens post-plot, your headcanons can go free. Your headcanon's gonna go wild! I'm leaving it very open-ended in that sense so that fan-made content can also live free as well, in terms of what happens afterwards. Post-narrative, are you that's gone through the story of the VN already? Yes, exactly. I was guessing that that's what you were going to say before we mentioned the 2.0. Yeah, pretty much. So, at the moment, the Harrier model you're seeing is the at start of VN model. Very much at start of VN model. But the 2.0 that I am planning is going to be post-plot on the VN. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And I can't say anything else on that aside that's not going to be spoilery. But yes, we are going to be working on the VN. It's one of the things that I'm going to be working on a lot in stream in terms of production work on that. One day I'd like to get it voiced as well, but I'm not gonna open that can of worms until such time as we are like maybe 3 months from launch. Like, maybe then I'll consider opening that can of worms to see, okay, are we going to voice it? Are we just going to voice certain parts of it? Or what? Because otherwise it's going to be, yeah, maybe a stretch goal. Maybe. Once I've got enough of it fully produced, we might be able to actually do a little bit of proper crowdfunding to say, okay, this is what we're aiming for. But at this stage, it's literally just going to be as I can work on it, and based on the patronage services that come in on VGen, if we can get hours sponsored to work on the visual novel, then that's what we're going to do, is we're going to work on the visual novel super extensively. And I am, yeah, looking very much forward to it. So I want to spend a lot of time on that this year. Get as far down the line as possible. Make some side content as well that's perhaps not 100% canon, you know, but supporting material. That can go along the way, you know, the crumbs that keep you fed on what's going on. So what we did today with introducing Cherith was pretty much this first step of that. So to slowly introduce you guys to the cast. On the characters tab on my VGen, there are a couple of teasers already for some of the characters, but they're not very fully fleshed out yet. So you'll find me, you'll find Claret, who is boss lady, who the mistlings on my Discord helped me acquire the character design for that. Claret was designed by Know You. And that is pretty much the only character design that I have not done myself. But it's like, I just looked at her when her adopt came up and was like, oh, that's the Marchioness. That's the Marchioness. Oh my word, we have to get her. And it's like, after like 2 months of that design not selling, was like, okay, mistlings, can we make this happen? And we got a couple of pictures in and we made it happen. And it's like, Claret exists thanks to you guys. And it's really cool that Claret exists thanks to you guys already. Like, I cannot express how cool it is that she exists now. And I cannot wait for Madame Boss Fairy to really just make an appearance and just be awesome, because she is cool. Like there's so much that I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys, that as we progress with Project Mystehaven, it's going to be really fun. So I've drawn Claret once on stream before. I think it was on a couple of sketches. That was a couple of months ago now. Wow. And I've worked on Tarn a little bit, who is our resident dragon boy. You've briefly seen an iteration of Kai, who is a borrowed reference from Heyo Teo as well. So Kai is a Tigran, and there is going to be reference to Teoverse lore in there as well. It's going to be slightly adapted because we are in different universes and different world builds entirely. But we're going to have an adaptation of Kai and the Tigran making their appearance in Mystehaven. And then we've got Lark, who we've drawn on stream as well. Or did I draw him on stream, or did I just do the sketch? Did I just release the sketch on social media? I think I just released the sketch on social media with updated Sentinel armor. Yeah, Lark is going to be fun. I really like Lark. He's a fun character. For me, personally, I think he's fun. Who else have I already introduced you guys to? You know Ebony. Ebony, who we did in the Globy Pause challenge. He got his glow up. Ebony is on this team as well, so yay! We've got our feisty little dog boy as well. Much like how elves and dwarves are different, but similar depending on the story they're founding. Exactly. So, the magic system in the Teoverse works differently from the magic system in the Skythere universe, which is basically the overarching set of world builds that Project Mystehaven takes place in. So I've got a couple of writing projects set in Skythere, but Mystehaven is the one I'm going to introduce you guys to first. So yeah, when I talk about the Skythere project, it is that that world build, and it's a harder magic system, I think, with a more controlled sort of power scaling. Like, I don't have any planet destroyers yet. In terms of power scaling, but it's possible that things could be bigger. No Death Stars here, folks. Well, no living Death Stars. Yet, lol. Yes, yet. Because I want to have the magic system be a supporting element, not a convenient plot device. And with that being the case, having it not be the immediate solution to all problems is just blow it up. Like, world flatten, blow up. That is something that I think is very important for the plots that I want to write, and therefore I want the power scaling to be on a slightly more manageable level. Like, yes, we could have an ICBM type level of magic, but Death Star, not quite. We're not going to evaporate planets in a hurry. Yeah, so I have the world build very, very strongly assembled now, in which each planet and its variations of story happen. And that makes Mystehaven fun for me, especially because it means that I can sneakily introduce people from a whole bunch of different kinds of places as well. And it means that, like, even from my writing projects from a decade or more ago, I can introduce little references here and there that no one is going to know is a reference until way later when I finally release those projects. And I think that's going to be kind of fun. Is I can put all of these little Easter eggs in that no one is going to know what's an Easter egg and what's original. And that's going to be so much fun. It's like, I am the only one who knows what is a reference to another planet yet, until I'm not. And it's going to be so fun just releasing little bits here and there to let you guys know, ooh, here's something that's related to another planet. Ooh, here's a person whose POV includes totally different manifestation of the same magic system, because that's a thing. Like, source of magic exists, comes in different volumes on different planets. How is that going to affect each planet's development? It sounds like a nightmare for the insane lore eaters. Yeah, but at the same time, it's gonna be the sort of thing that maybe 10-15 years from now, people who are doing lore essays on YouTube are gonna just eat this up to say, let's decode this huge thing, and it's gonna be fun. And it's like, I can already imagine how people are going to kind of be tying it together like those, like the what's it? It's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be fun. I forget the word now, but it's fun. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. But for now, first steps is write the thing. for now, first steps is write the thing and get all of our references in place and start building character sprites and backgrounds and all of those things. Careful, game theory doesn't find you. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, I won't lie. It's gonna be interesting either which way. Like, if anyone finds me for video essays, I will, or finds Mystehaven for video essays, it's gonna be fun. I'd love to see what they extract from things and extrapolate from things. But for now, we start with getting the assemblies. I think that's the important thing, is we have a foundation to work with. We are presently looking at just making sure that we have a properly cured concrete before we start building the next steps. So, yeah, we're keeping our concrete wet, making sure it's curing in salt water so that it can be good and solid and not going to be able to break in a hurry. And that's going to be our plan. By salt water, I mean my own sweat and tears going into this. But actually, fun fact, concrete does cure better with salt water. If you ever need to build anything in concrete, salt water makes it cure stronger. Fun fact. That is completely out of nowhere. I am tired. It's almost 5:30 in the morning, guys. I need to go sleep. So, I'm gonna love and leave you guys on that exciting note. Rest well. I will see you tomorrow, today, asterisk, at 1930 UTC for combat style analysis catch up. Woohoo! Makes sense. Salt is a surprisingly strong material. Yes, it is. It is indeed. Yes. So, I will see you guys later for combat style analysis. It's going to be a longer stream because I've got a lot of people to get through, and I'm only probably going to get through half of the outstanding entries. So it's going to be a lot of yapping. So I'm going to make sure I've got water. I'm going to make sure I've got lemon tea next to me for that stream later. And it's going to be fun. So reanalysis fight is going to be a thing again. After we have done the catch-ups, the reanalysis fight hashtag that you see on my schedule is going to be perpetually open. So at any time, you can submit something with the hashtag. You can either... yeah, I will have a proper discussion about that when we actually get into the stream tonight. I'm not going to think about it right now, because otherwise I'm going to go through a whole nother tangent that's going to take us for a whole nother 15 minutes. Yes. Good night, everyone. Rest well. I will see you later. Yes. Brain is fried. I'm excited. Yay, Mystehaven! Also commission well when you get there. And until next time, cheery bye.